is Charles Spanner here at JTech. We're going to go over how to make some hydraulic lines, or really any hose that might have some pressure on it. And here at JTech we use the Gates system, Mega Crimp system. So I'm going to demonstrate with that. First thing you need to do is you determine what kind of hose you need, or what size hose you need. One of the best way to do that is either go to the manual for the vehicle you're using it for the hydraulic system you're using it for, or compare it with the hose you have. So say your hose comes off the vehicle, it broke, you need to know what size hose. So if you look at the hoses, there's certain diameters on the outside, but the inside is a certain diameter as well, because that's how you build your pressures, by restrictions. So as you compare hoses, you find out what you need, and in the Gates system, everything's done by a pneumatic system such as 4G, 8G, 6G. It's based on the gauge of hose. So in this system, it's good to have a bunch of little pieces like this piece has. We've got like these 4Gs, 6Gs. This just shows your hose diameter. We've got 8Gs, 12Gs. This is just what we have on hand. And then spools of hose. It's just a spool of hose. So first thing we find all our pieces for the hose we want. Then we're going to need to cut our hose to length. This is a nice little just circular saw, table circular saw. Cut our hose to length. And then once we cut our hose to length, we fit our fittings. Now if you notice, this thing has a stem that goes all the way to the end, and it's barbed. That allows the fitting to go into the hose nice and solid. Alright, so this hose, pull this back out. So this hose butts up against on the inside. So what this allows to do is to have the maximum length inside. So as we crimp, this portion right here is going to be crimped to a good portion of the hose that won't allow it to actually like slip off under pressure. Now, this is all determined based on the hose size and everything like that. Charts help out with this a lot, and on this Gate system we've got charts. So on this chart it shows that we have a 4G. It's actually on the, I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually on the fitting. So we have a 4G with a 1/4 inch hose, 4G on a Mega Crimp system. We use a 715. That's the inside diameter of the die. So we just go find and we have the outside of it. This will be the actual die set we're going to use. So really some of these numbers we actually don't need to know. But we've got the die set, so we come over to our dies, because we have various dies. We see what dies we find the die set we need, which is on this hose. This 4G hose is a 721 die, and it's got approximately 4.5 readout. So what that means, that's 4.5 pounds up here. I'll show that here in a second. So we don't destroy and waste materials. I'm not actually going to crimp this. I'm going to crimp something we already have. So this right here is a 6G. Alright, so it's actually on the fitting, which again you cannot read because it's all messed up. This is a 6G on this 3/8 inch hose. So up here on this 6G, again we're using our chart. 3/8 inch hose, it's a 6G Mega Crimp. The die set we're going to use is 722. So we come over to our die set, all of our die sets, and we look. Show this to you here. We're looking for our die set of 722 with this Mega Crimp. So you look on the outside, it also shows our numbers, our pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if they do break, like this one does, this one's all broken. So does that mean we need to get a new one? No, it doesn't. It just means we have to make sure it's put together correctly before we use it. We put our die set together, because these break. And then we get our adapter. If you look, it is tapered. We take our die set, put it into our adapter. Because it is broken, it's going to be some messing around with it. There we go. Alright, this is where we're set up. So we're going to take our die and our adapter, stick it into our power crimp. Oh, we also got to put our hose in there too, that makes sense, huh? So the best way to do this is to come up from the bottom, so we release pressure. Put our hose in. These aren't light, but they're not super heavy. Push our hose up, get our die set. This is what happens when they're broken. They're kind of a pain. Once you get them in, you get them in. There we go. We're in there. So we set in. Okay, so now our pressure. So we're at 695. So this system, we dial it in. 695. It's kind of touchy. Okay. So let's use a hydraulic pressure. There's a hydraulic motor in the back that just runs everything in a closed loop system. And it has a pressure release valve. So as we push the button, crimps our fitting, and you see it has an automatic retractor. Push all the way down, goes the pressure, automatically retracts. That's how this works. Now I know you have a good crimp. Of course, the bag crimp. Some things to look for. You always put your tools back when you're done. Alright. So there's some back crimp. So this would be a good crimp, a decent crimp. Got a nice little head on it, it's nice and even, it's not too squished. Here's a bad one. So what they did is that the fitting was sitting too far out of the, it's not focusing. It was sitting too far out of the die when they crimped it. So this actually can produce a pocket in there and actually cause it to explode. So this is not really safe because now we've got fluid where the hose is inside the connector. All right, now this one, if you look, they've crimped it, the die was too small. So now we got over crimping, which does damage to the inside of the hose and to the fitting itself. And they tried to fix it, and it just made a big old mess. So obviously they cut it off to redo it. So that's just a waste of material. So when you're choosing your hoses and your fittings, make sure everything fits properly first. Make sure you have the correct die set for the correct fitting, and it'll make your life a lot easier. I hope this was helpful, and I'll be over time.